It's the Undercroft Cabaret. Please welcome your host, Mr. Mark Womersley.
Mark Womersley? That's a stage name I've not heard in a long time. A long time. Always best to start the cabaret with a really bad Obi-Wan Kenobi impression, I believe. And I haven't actually got a stage name. That's my real name. That is actually my real name. I couldn't afford a stage name, of course. I can hear you all cheering, and I'm very grateful to you all. Thank you for that. It's good to be back. We're here with a special edition of the Undercroft Cabaret. Obviously, all editions of the Undercroft Cabaret are special, but this one's an extra special edition because not only will we have the usual array of fantastic, eclectic acts for your entertainment. We do have those, definitely. I've met them, and they are great. But also with this edition, on a more serious note, we're actually here to hopefully inform and enlighten you. But probably more important is to gain your support and, honestly, more importantly, to gain your money, donations towards the cause while we're doing this show today, basically. And that is in aid of the awful COVID pandemic that is currently sweeping across India. And basically, we're here today because a good friend of ours asked us to be involved with this. The cabaret actually was her idea, and we were all too willing to become involved. And luckily, she's here to talk to us today, to talk to you, to tell us about where your donations, which we hope will come pouring in, will go, and why she wanted to do this. So I'm going to hand over to her now. So please welcome Prerna Aneja.
Hello, I'm Prerna, and that's my partner Alvaro. We've been we've been trying to raise funds for Hasiru Dala organization that works with waste pickers and waste workers in India and also their families. And they have been doing some amazing work pre-COVID and during COVID in terms of providing, the families with food and safe space for the children, such as library, and also care packages. They've also built isolation center with around 250 beds so that the families can isolate themselves in a center, because usually the families live in slums or where people are together. Like there are many people who live together in small spaces, and this puts the families at a greater risk, and especially in a situation like the COVID pandemic. And also these communities are extremely marginalized in India because of the socioeconomic and caste issues. So like many of you have seen the COVID around the globe, and also what's happening in India. So through friends and family, we basically got in touch with the suffering that was happening in India, and we felt quite helpless and powerless. And we got in touch with few families and friends, and we understood that how this particular community that has been frontline workers working on waste management has been affected so much. And so we decided to raise funds for them. So I just want to thank everyone for coming here or being here and seeing us live, and also for to Chris, Mark, Danny, for helping me organize this. And I don't think we could have done it just by ourselves. So I'm very fortunate to have all the support that we've got during this. Back to you, Mark.
Hello, thank you, Prerna. As we all know, unless you've been living under a rock. And actually knowing some of our usual cabaret audience, that may well be impossible. But COVID has been affected the whole global community for the past 18 months or so, different times to different levels in different places. But right now, India is obviously being badly affected. So please do what you can to help. And just to give you an idea of what you could help with, and with sort of donation amounts, a £5 donation, this would provide basic food for a family for a week. A £17 donation would provide basic food for a family for a month. A £50 donation, this would pay for a quarantine care kit and accommodation, allowing a family to self-isolate in a purpose-built centre for 1 month. And a £100 donation, that would provide a complete family COVID-19 care package, including food, supplies, accommodation, oxygen, which we know we've seen on the news has been really rare, and medication and family support. So, again, please give what you can. We'll be seeing more of Prana later. I was going to say in a slightly less serious mode, but she'll be performing with me, so maybe not. Okay, so before we get on to the first act, a traditional, when I'm hosting or comparing one of these cabarets, I'll do a little bit of comedy, what I feel is comedy at the beginning. And you sort of think, well, COVID pandemic, there's not really much comedy can be taken out of that, really. It can be brought from that. Also, you might think, not so much comedy, but I found quite a lot of irony in it from a personal point of view, on a personal level. First of all, the side effects of the pandemic, the major one for a lot of people was lockdown. It meant that you couldn't go out. You couldn't go out and frequent your favorite pubs or your favorite venues. You couldn't go and fly where all around the world, or just, internal flights. One of the hardest ones was you couldn't visit loved ones and go into loved ones' houses and friends' houses. So basically, the world sort of became inaccessible to you all. Inaccessible, yeah. Now, those of you who don't know me, and you might not be able to tell from just seeing me here, but I'm a full-time powered wheelchair user. So basically, you've all been experiencing my life. And I find that quite ironic, because just for the fact that it's been inaccessible to you. I shouldn't take any kind of enjoyment from that whatsoever, and I apologize. The other side of the pandemic, which has affected everyone, is the physical side of it, the hugging. And it's been awful that people haven't been able to meet up, haven't been able to hug. Another part of my condition is I can't move my arms at all, so I'm not a hugger. I've never been a hugger. That doesn't mean that people don't hug me. Sometimes whether I want them to or not, which can be quite awkward. Not that I'm not open to that, just for future reference in case anyone meets up with me at some point. But one tip: if you do ever come up to hug me, please do it from the non-controller side of my wheelchair. I've had a few come in from the other side, and it can end up quite disastrous. People go flying, and not just the two huggies. The other side of it is shaking hands. Oh, thank God, shaking hands has become a non-thing. I mean, I know it's predominantly a male pastime. I've never been a handshaker either. I don't like the whole concept of it. I did look into it a bit. It began apparently in 15th century BC in ancient Greece. It was basically a symbol of peace, showing the person that you were going to shake hands with that you had no weapon in your hand. In Roman times, it became more of a forearm grab. It wasn't hands, it was forearms. And that was basically a sneaky way of checking that your fellow hand graspee didn't have any weapons up their sleeves. And then in medieval times, knights introduced the shaking element of it, and they would shake each other's hands to loosen any hidden weapons. So it was always a practical side behind it. More recently, obviously, it's become more of a status thing, and guys go in with a really firm the handshake firm, and it's basically which is to correlate how big their balls are, I think. I've never, that's not the reason I don't like it. I've never bought into the old firm of grip versus the size of balls thing. I don't believe that's the case. The main reason that I'm not a handshaker is because, or I'm glad I'm not a handshaker, is because basically we have no idea where those hands have been. Actually, that's a little unfair. We know exactly where they've been, so we don't want to go anywhere near them really, because to be honest, since time began, that's probably been the biggest spreader of germs that there's ever been. Anyway, that's enough of me, no doubt. It's really weird. You get no feedback sort of live, and you just think you're brilliant, and I am. So I'm now going to go on to our first act. Before I do, I'm going to mention our second act. I don't know who that was. You might not see them again. You might see them in a minute. I don't know. No, but basically, before I introduce my first act, you just had a preview of. Our second act would like you to give them some suggestions for their act. They're actually an improv group, and you probably know them, and I won't say who they are yet. But if you could, please put in any words into your message part of the whatever platform you're watching us on, and we're actually on 11 platforms. Yes, you're obviously on one, otherwise you wouldn't be seeing me, but we're on various Facebooks and Twitters and Twitches and YouTube and Platform 9 3/4 and whatever one you're on as well. But yeah, if you wouldn't mind giving us just single word suggestions in the message parts of your platform, and then Chris Reed, who's our tech, but also going to be a performer, he'll take a word from you and use that. Thank you. You can also leave feedback in the messages for the acts as well. Don't forget, they've got no live feedback. You can't upload, or you can. Please upload. We won't hear it, but you can always write your feedback. Oh, I've got a flyer. That's something I'll deal with at the break. Right. So I'd like you to give a big hand for our first performer tonight. When I asked her for an intro, she gave me a few suggestions and then ended up by saying, "Well, just say anything you like." She doesn't know me. It was the first time we've met, so I'm going to give her the benefit of the doubt on that one. So instead, I'm going to use her intro, and so please welcome to the stage comedian and storyteller Christina O'Sullivan.
Oh, okay. Hi, everyone. I'm Christina. Like Mark, I am also not a hugger. At the start of lockdown, my therapist sent me a very kind message to check how I was getting on. And I was like, no bothers, Jane. Like, I was doing the social distancing shit before it was cool. Like many privileged people in lockdown, my lockdown highlights were not dying. And whenever the post came, I felt like I was living this sort of Jane Austen fantasy where I would sit around during the day and get really, really excited whenever the post came. I would like open the door and be like, what news of the outside world? And most of the post I got was things that I sent myself. You know, I was trying to support like the independent bookshop industry single-handedly and things like this. But sometimes I would get like a really nice surprise gift. Like a friend sent me some flowers and another friend sent me a cookbook. But that was all like lockdown one vibes, you know, like in lockdown one, when we were like, this is an opportunity. And I was like making collages and baking bread and like brushing my hair for work Zooms. It was like a very, very different time. But in lockdown 3 at the end of last year, there was like a knock on my door early Saturday morning, and I went to get it. And there was this box for me, and I hadn't ordered anything. And it looked kind of fancy and it said fragile. And I was like, ooh, I feel like if it says fragile, that means it's quite fancy. Cause like the only fragile thing I own is my brain. Everything else I have is just plastic. So I opened it, and it was a bottle of red wine that had been sent from France. And I got very excited. I was like, oh my God, maybe someone is like fancy French red wine in love with me. Like maybe I'm an Amelie, like I have this lockdown love interest. Who could it be? And a part of me was like, just leave it alone though, just leave it a mystery, like embrace that. But I'm like a millennial and I love true crime. And I was like, I must figure out who this person is. So I started thinking, and that was my first error, because I realized that like the only people I know who are into wine in this way is my dad and my brother. And I feel like I really don't want either of them to be in love with me. And a part of me is like, Christina, that you shouldn't think about it, because like deep down, I know no one is fancy French red wine in love with me. Like maybe someone is like Tesco value carton of white wine like me, but no one's fancy French red wine in love with me. So anyway, I ask in my family WhatsApp, I take a picture of me with the wine and I'm like, guys, did anyone send me this? And my brother replies, yes, I did. So it's still nice. It's still a nice gift. So I reply, thank you. To which he replies, could you bring it home with you at Christmas? So it wasn't a gift. It was more of a transportation job that he had not asked me to do and I had not signed up for. But what he had not considered is that I am a very cheap person. So I had not paid for a check-in bag for my flight, so I could not carry the wine home. So I tell him this, thinking that will make him give in and just let me keep the wine. But he replies, can you hold on to it? It's a nice one. And I'm like, okay, I'll hold on to the wine in a pandemic for you. So I go home for Christmas. I'm from Ireland and I do my quarantine and I get a test, and it works out that I only overlap with my brother at home for a couple of days. And I don't want to start an argument. I haven't been home in a year, blah, blah, blah. But he brings up the wine and I'm like, it's okay. And he's like, sorry, I didn't tell you it was coming. And I'm like, well, you also didn't ask me. And then it gets worse. He tells me that he didn't pay for the wine. He used air miles to get it. So externally, I'm trying to be nice and be like, oh, that's interesting. And internally, I'm like, you didn't even fucking pay money for this fucking wine and you won't even let me have it. Urgh. And then I realized that it gets worse, because the air miles that he got for this wine were from a trip we all took to Ecuador together, because my sister-in-law is from Ecuador. And I had a very, very stressful journey back from that trip. We were in the airport in Quito. My mom had some issue with her leg, so her and my dad had to go on the plane early. And then my name came on the intercom and they were like, we have to do a random search of your bag. And I was like, okay, fine, but I don't speak Spanish. Can my sister-in-law come with me? And they're like, no, but there's an interpreter there. So fine. So I go downstairs and I see the bags and I realize that they're not my bags, they're my parents' bags. So first I'm like, oh, it doesn't really matter. Like, I'm pretty sure my parents aren't like smuggling drugs back from Ecuador. And I feel like if my life was a movie, if it actually was Amelie, that's what would happen. But like, my life isn't a movie, and my mom calls hash wacky backy, so she's not like a massive drug smuggler. The boring reality was that I realized that the bags had locks on them and I didn't have the key. And as I said, my parents were on the flight. So I tell the interpreter this and he's like, okay, fine. And then he just leaves. He said, I'm not dealing with it. And at this point, I'm still not super stressed because I'm white. So I was like, well, I haven't done anything wrong, so I can't get in trouble. And it was only when I got to the front of the queue, I'm the last person there, and I try to explain what's happened, and they're like, open the bag. And I'm like, well, I can't. And the police are like, open the bag. And I can't, there's signs up saying I can't check my phones. I don't know how long I've been there. I'm like, I'm pretty sure the flight was supposed to leave by now. No one else is here. I really, really want to cry, but I'm worried that if I cry, they'll be like, oh, she's crying because she got caught smuggling drugs. They keep screaming at me. And I remember this thing my brother, villain of the story at this point, said that he said sometimes in Ecuador to get things done, you just have to bribe someone. So I'm like, do I have to bribe someone? But I only have like $20. And I'm like, I don't know how much a fake drug crime goes for, but that doesn't feel like it's going to cut it. So I'm just like standing there trying not to cry, and eventually they just rip the bag open, and I'm like, sorry parents, but what could I do? Thankfully there aren't drugs, and they let me go. And the plane didn't leave because my brother refused to get on the plane. So there's a bit of a redemption arc for my brother there. So eventually I get on the plane, start crying a lot. And when they come to take our orders for drinks, I'm like, wine, give me wine right now. I need wine. And while we're having the wine and we're having the food, the person in the seat in front of me like flicks their chair and the wine goes all over me. Which brings me full circle back to this wine. This is a fancy French red wine that I continue to store for my brother for free. And I wanted to know what you guys think. Do you think I should drink it? My therapist thinks I should drink it, and I do essentially pay her for advice. Would you be willing to donate to the fundraiser for me to drink it and possibly risk my relationship with my brother? Would you donate to have this wine? I'm not a sommelier, but it is apparently a nice one. So yeah, let me know, I guess. Thank you.
Thank you, Christina. I think you should open it now and share it amongst all of us. I don't know how you'll do that exactly, but I think you should. Yes, so as Christina says, please, in a roundabout way, please donate generously. Here's the link again to the bit at the bottom with the big letters donate, just to give you a clue, is the link to where you can go online and donate towards the cause that we're here for today. And all of the acts today are all giving their time for free. That they might not know that, but they do now. Yeah, so if you basically donate on their behalf as well. They're not getting it, it's just going to them. Anyway, right, so now to our next act. What do you get if you put a weird couple together? You give them some suggestions, possibly a location, I don't know, they'll probably come up with that themselves now. And you ask them to improvise. What do you get? You get Bendy House.
Hello.
Can I just stop you there? I don't know if you heard, but he said a weird couple.
Yeah, I did hear that, Dan. How do you feel about that?
Well, I'm wondering if there was somebody else he meant to.
Oh, you think we're not on? No.
I meant to say a couple of weird people. Sorry, I got it wrong way round.
A couple of weird people. Oh, that's much better then. Thanks for that. Yeah.
Thank you.
Hello, we're Bendy House, and we're going to improvise a set for you today. We made a rash last-minute decision to use Zoom immersive mode. Now, I'm now not sure it's going to work. So what I'm going to do, if it's all right with you, Danny, is I'm going to try and put us in front of the fireside right now and see how that works. Oh, you don't seem to be there. Have you got your camera on? There she is. Let's just see if that pops out.
It's a bit hot.
Oh no, wrong side. We're an improv duo, and we are going to improvise for you today. And I don't think that's coming out properly on the stream.
Oh.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, sorry. This is entirely my fault. I have we made a last-minute decision to try and use immersive mode. That's not going to work. So we're just going to do a normal improv set for you right now. I say normal, like it's over Zoom. Improvising over Zoom has become normal, hasn't it, Danny?
Yes, Chris, it has become normal.
It has become normal. Thank you for your wonderful suggestions. I have, in fact, Danny, do you want to give me 3 numbers between 1 and 15?
Yes, I'll have 13, 14, and 6.
13, 14, and 6. Okay, so our 3 words, which are we're basically going to jump in and out of some different scenes, and we are going to visit different characters. Is that a good way of describing it, Danny?
Yeah, between you and me, Chris, now we're not using the immersive, but we're using the same setup, yeah?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so, yeah.
Should be
Okay,
safe,
this is going well so far, darling.
yes.
Okay, our 3 words, chosen at random, Danny O'Hara, are copper,
Copper,
sugar cube,
sugar cube.
technically 2 words, but we'll allow it, and rainbows.
Rainbows.
Copper, sugar cube, rainbows. All right, we are Bendy House. This is Copper, Sugar Cube, Rainbows.
And this is just for you. Yeah, right. Well, I'm just gonna say this once.
Yeah.
Those pipes, you've let them decay.
Well,
Yeah.
they're my pipes, aren't they? Like, I feel like I can let them decay if I want to. Do you have a problem with that?
Yeah, I do actually, because I'm just going to stop you right there. Are they your pipes, or are they the pipes that belong to the building that you happen to own?
No, those I see what you're getting at there. No, I brought those with me when I moved in. They're very much my pipes. They're my lucky pipes. My dad gifted them to me on my 17th birthday.
I'm so sorry then. In that case, I'll take it back.
Yeah.
They are your pipes. You aren't looking after them though.
No, but I feel like that's my prerogative, really. They're my pipes. If they were your pipes and you'd ask me to look after your pipes and I'd let them decay into that state, then you would have a right to be annoyed with me, but they're my pipes.
Yeah, right. Okay. Well, let me just stop you there. You got me out to sort your plumbing out, Bob. Okay. And
I did.
You've told me this really sweet story about your dad giving you some pipes for your 17th birthday. So
God
now
rest
I'm
his soul.
thinking, what would your dad, and he's dead. Bugger me, he's dead as well, and you ain't looking after his pipes.
Well, I mean, thank you for your sympathy there. I appreciate that. My poor old dad.
Yeah, sorry for your loss.
Thank you. Yeah. It's the least you could say, really. But
yeah, well, all right. I'm sorry for your loss. So, how are you doing? Do you want to talk about it?
I'm sorry. I don't mean to stop. Can I stop you there, if that's all right? I think I know my father better than you knew my father. Did you know my father?
No, not at all.
No, you've never met my father, have you?
No.
Do you know how many times I met my father?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I suppose it was a few times.
It was more than a few times, as it happens. I don't know the exact number. I don't know why I made it sound like I'd know the exact number. I don't. But my point is that I knew my father very well, and you don't know the state of the pipes that he liked his pipes to be in.
Well, cool. There's a lot of information going on now. I'm going to have to really just let me just break this down. So hang on a minute. We'll park the quote, by the way, for the plumbing job. We'll just park that for a second.
Which was a bit steep, I thought, by the way. But
well, we can discuss that, but
okay.
We'll park it for the moment.
All right,
you're
right.
Okay, so I made I jumped to a conclusion. I jumped to a conclusion that you had not looked after your pipes, which I still agree that you haven't. But you're saying that that's how your dad liked them. Can I just clarify? Is this the state of the pipes that your dad gave you? I mean, it's got to be a fair few years ago, isn't it?
God rest his soul. Yeah. It was.
Yeah, but you're not a spring chicken, so it's got to be a while ago.
All right. Yeah, it was a little while ago. Yeah.
So my question is then, is this how your dad gave them to you?
No.
Oh, right. So I might bugger me.
So can I get you anything else? Would you like maybe some sugar for your tea, or?
Oh, I love this role playing. Yes. Okay. Yeah. No, I'm focusing. Yes. Yes, I would like some sugar. And,
yes.
Actually, I'll tell you what. If you're really playing this game, can I actually have an Irish coffee?
Yes, absolutely. I'll get you an Irish coffee. Sorry. What game is it we're playing, madam?
Oh. I thought we were getting you ready for your restaurant job.
Oh, I see, madam. Yes, I see. Your confusion. No, this is the restaurant. It's more of an afternoon tea emporium, if you will.
Okay. Can I still get my Irish coffee?
Janine, so it really confuses me when we're doing it and you say, when we're doing the role play and you say this is a role play, like it, I don't know who I am anymore. I don't know if I'm Kevin or I was being Quentin. Yeah,
but hang on a minute, Kevin. All of our staff are going to have the same problem. If you, the trainer, is falling out of character, I got confused because you kind of threw it back at me, and then I thought, No. We're not training.
Sorry, what did you think?
Well, I just went a bit. You seemed like quite realistic, actually. It's quite realistic. That's all. I mean, of course you are, because you're the trainer.
Yeah, I was doing Quentin. Quentin's my favourite character to play. It just
All right.
I went to acting school. I'm not just like a jumped up waiter. I went to acting school. When I'm doing role play, I'd like you to respect the fourth wall.
Okay.
If it's very jarring if you suddenly break the fourth wall while I'm in character.
Okay. Well, if we're talking about schools, I went to art school.
Great, that's lovely. You can draw a little butterfly on the menus or something. But can we go from the top again, please?
Well, we can go from the top again. Yeah.
I'd like that. Please try not to,
So shall I be a difficult customer this time?
Well, I mean, you were hardly an easy one that time.
There's a little bit of aggression coming through here, Kevin. You're playing Quentin, and I think maybe we should just get rid of Quentin, and you should start playing. I don't know. Play Mrs. Marple. Play Mrs. Marple. She's a lovely lady. Play her.
Mrs. Marple she's a detective. She's not going to be.
Yes, but when we play, but the Mrs. Marples that come into our plays, they're nice.
Oh, not the Mrs. Marple. A Mrs. Marple.
You're being very obstructive. Did they teach you that at drama school?
Just want to be Quentin.
Right. Okay. So, no, I've forgotten. You're gonna have to give me a whisper.
It's when rain and sun happens at the same time. You get the rainbow.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm going to sing it.
Do that and do the hand movements as well.
I do the hand movements.
Yeah.
And you're going to dance it.
That's what we agreed, isn't it?
Yeah. And I think what the X Factor has not yet seen is that in the middle of somewhere over the rainbow. Well, I just think the striptease is the specialty bit of it.
This is going out on primetime television. I don't think they'll let me do the striptease.
Oh, they will. They really love a striptease, especially if they're not that attractive. They love an unattractive striptease.
So we've got a deal?
Yeah, I'll take the fridge, which, by the way, was a lot smaller than I thought. Didn't know you were going to have one of them with your sink. But I'll leave the bath. Yeah, so I'll just quote probably take 6 to 9 weeks. All right.
Okay, it's really important that you don't change the look of the pipes, though. I've taken a long time to get them to that point. Long time.
Yeah, I won't. Oh. I'll take it home and I'll put it. It will stay just like this.
I'm sorry, Dad. I'm sorry.
God, I'm gonna do a bit of cleaning, mate. Oh, a bit dusty. 6 to 9 weeks, I'll be back with those pipes. Oh.
How many sugar cubes would you like, sir?
Right, I'll have 7, please.
Oh, 7 sugar cubes. All right, I'll just go and get those. Would you like anything else? Maybe a sandwich, maybe a scone, maybe a small slice of cake.
Yeah, I'll have a slice of cake. Can I make it a big one?
Yeah, let me just pop to the kitchen. Oh my God, there's a dead body in the kitchen. Well, if my name isn't Mrs. Marple, I will solve this crime and serve you afternoon tea at the same time. Cool, we covered that.
Okay, this is going to sell well. Great, that's great. Can we get on to the next one? That's a good one. I like that one.
Yeah, how was it? Could you give me some notes? Could you?
Well, no, I thought you were perfect, but I really need to get onto the adamant one. So if you could just get onto adamant stage, let's move it. Okay. Hello, I'd like a coffee.
Then you must stand and I will deliver it to you.
Okay, cool. I think you could move your body a bit.
I wasn't
definitely.
feeling that one. I was not feeling that one. I would like to. Okay, I'm happy with Marple. Okay, I think the Wacky Races one is perfect, but let's please just drop Adamant.
Okay. Phil Collins or Rocket Man, one of those two. We've got to have one of them.
Okay.
Quick. I'll have a Labbuccino. Somewhere over.
It's no point, is it? It's no point.
Oh no!
It's all over. No, they
haven't taken off the frock yet.
We're done. We're done. I got my top off. I got one leg of my pants off, and that was it. They pulled the plug. It's over.
Oh God! I thought they liked that ugly strip.
I don't know who you spoke to on the phone, but it wasn't an X Factor producer. It's primetime ITV. Like I said, they can't have it. As soon as they saw what we were going to do, that was it. They don't. Ant and Dec mustn't mess around, you know.
All right, hang on. I've got to find my knickers.
Yeah. And that's it from us. Thank you very much. We have been Bendy House, and we are delighted to be here performing in the Undercroft Cabaret. If you would like to find out more about us, you can search for Bendy House. Find us on Facebook and Twitter, I believe, as well. Is that right, Danny?
Yes, you can. You can find us all over the socials. And remember to send some funds to the fund link.
Yes, do that. Thank you for having us.
Bye.
See you soon. Back to Mark.
Thank you so much. That was extremely funny. But I think my weird couple or couple of weird people really does still stand, doesn't it? Right. Okay, if you want to put the old link up again, Chris, next to me, so we can see what's going on. Sorry, I just had a fly. That's why I suddenly shake of the head. Oh, that's not the link, but it will be up again very soon. There it is. There it is. So yes, please donate generously to that link there for the cause that we're supporting today. I don't know how well it's going. I don't know if you've donated yet, but I just want an excuse at some point to go all Bob Geldof on your asses. I may have lost about 80% of the demographic with that statement. It's from a while back, but at one point he did go during Live Aid, give us your hocking money now. Right, but you know, please. Okay, our next performer, it's time for them. She's a poet and performer who's from Norwich, and she said to let you know that she's so excited to be reading some poems to us today, because it's been a while, quite frankly. It's been quite a while. But more importantly, she said, particularly as it's for this current course. So please welcome to your screens in any way you feel like you'd like to, Iona May.
Hello everyone, hi. I am really happy to be here and read some poems for you. And if you haven't already, if you haven't already, please make sure you donate if you can. Like imagine if you're at a bar or something, you might be buying a drink right now, or you could even pour yourself a glass of wine. I'll give you permission, and you, Christina, or whatever you like, and think, oh, that might cost £4. And then you could instead just donate it to this fantastic cause. You've had really loads of really great, really funny performances today, and I thought you might be in need of some contrast. So I've got 3 slightly melancholy poems for you, maybe 4. We'll see how we go with timing for you to enjoy. I don't know if that's the word, but hopefully I'm sure you'll get something from them. And this first one is, I live in a house share, and it's about my household. It's called And the Whole House. And the whole house smells weird again. Richard says it showed up this time last year and is in fact a seasonal thing, and he's probably right. Makes me think, could it be something to do with the heating? I should do a thorough investigation round the radiators, though Elise pointed out that if a rat had died, then it should have done all its rotting by now. It's that sort of house. You wouldn't be surprised to find a rat skeleton between the fish tank and the microwave. Well, really, it's just a shared home with cluttered surfaces. We wipe them down more often than you might guess, and I love my housemates with a nonchalant certainty you can't just get anywhere. Do you ever feel like something is coming to an end, but you don't know specifics? That's that first one. And written down as also a sonnet, so it's also a love poem. This next one is Lockdown House Share. It's another privileged in lockdown situation, and here it is. This house is my body. This house breathes. Let's all do exercise together in the garden. 10:30. I'm trying to get up, but I keep dreaming. Or not. No one has to if they don't want to. I can't work out if I love it or lump it that you all know when I'm sad before I do. It's not a big thing though, just a small thing, just that I sent voice recordings telling the last week of Jesus's life to Ethan and to Prerna, and I was so pleased with myself, and it's actually embarrassing, and oh, I'm waiting to see what they say, and it's such a big thing for me, and now you all know it's nothing to worry about. By the way, I can tell if you're happy or sad from the music you play, even though it's the same songs always. Maybe you absorb more sound when you're feeling like you don't know what to do with yourselves. We could run an experiment, but I don't have the inclination. Too busy working out how to read novels again, so aware of holding the book that I rarely make it to Italy. My brilliant friend. I will be forever altered by this new softness towards all of you. And this is another friend's one. What I like about this one is people imagine all different sorts of stuff into it. So I never really know how much to introduce it. But also I know that when you hear a poem, it's quite nice to be orientated in the scene of it before you hear it. So the scene is, or where I want you to imagine yourself is, we're in a kitchen flat in London. I'm there with a friend that I care about a lot. The poem's called Between Us. I will wash up for you before I leave, but right now, the morning can't bear too much activity. Drinking tea is the warmth of holding, and I need this space between us. Everything is almost on top of something else, and your birthday cake is not the only thing that has lost its identity. A crisp packet blossoms out of a wine glass. From here, I can almost see the whole of you. You are probably okay. Probably did not mind that I showed up late. There were other people to make you special, and at least I was there for the dancing. A moth flaps in, and I can feel you are watching her too. She brings echoes of you. Moths are a quirk of this flat, and me, you should seal your woolens in plastic. I stand, clap, quick. She's dead in my palms. I'm elated, like I've caught a ball impressively. I know you will look away if I turn to you. Won't want me to feel hurt by your shocked eyes. You know I know anyway, and so you feel bad for hurting me. I could say sorry. I go to the sink to wash her body away. She was bigger and browner than most. She had moved so slowly. She'd made it look like flight required all her concentration. And one final poem for you. It's kind of a poem, kind of a story. this one, well, part of it's from, I've got this problem, which is, I don't see as a problem, but lots of people do see as a problem, which is that I don't find cats very cute. Like, I quite like them, and kittens, they're fine, but I don't find them cute. And people, I always feel a bit like left out, I guess, with that. So this poem's a little bit about that, and also a bit about how I'm not in a relationship, and I don't like a romantic relationship, and I'm not really looking to be in one. And people always seem a bit baffled by that. I don't know. I feel like there's undertones of that in this poem for the keen observer. I wasn't sure what to call it. Could either be called Different Kinds of Love or a cat called Janie. I woke up and I didn't want to get up, so I started scrolling through Rightmove, even though that's the sort of thing other people like to do. And then when I was brushing my teeth, I thought, I should live on a top floor flat, all on my own, and have a cat called Janie. I was so sure of the name Janie that I can't have just come up with it. If I did name my cat Janie, then I'd probably be copying someone without realizing it, and they'd get offended. I'm not even sure what I think about cats. I mean, I quite like them, but I don't like saying how cute they are all the time. If I had my own flat, then I'd have people round for dinner and they'd stroke Janie with all their tender adoration and say stuff like, oh, look at her. And I'd say, would you like red or white wine? Whilst almost utterly engrossed by Janie's soft, long grey fur, my guests would distractedly remark, don't you think it's so much easier with cats than with humans? A less complicated relationship. And what if I didn't just nod along and instead explain that it's not quite like that for me with cats, but my heart does fill with delight for other things, like a fruit bowl full of fruit or any body of water on a bright evening. They probably wouldn't make a fuss about it. Say something like, oh yes, it's exactly the same feeling. And that they'd have whatever colour wine I was having. Thank you very much, and thank you for having me. And if you can, please donate or share the donation page. Goodbye.
Thank you, Iona. Iona's a regular with the Cabaret, the live, when we've been doing the live ones ages ago. She's always great, and hopefully she'll be at those again. Please don't let her dislike of cats and moths put you off donating if you are a lover of those things. That's all I can say. The link next to me, that's that side. Yeah. Please donate. We've had an update on the income, and it's quite good. Thank you. But as always, it's not quite good enough. So please keep them coming in. I'd like to give you a little bit. Actually, at the beginning of Iona's set, she said about the cost of a drink. Instead of that, maybe donate. I've got a few comparisons for that for you, just a few quick ones. Like a £5 donation, which I said would provide basic food for a family for a week in India. Well, that's a drink in a pub or a cheap 4-pack of beer from a supermarket. A £17 donation, that's quite a good takeaway for one person. Bit of a skimpish cheapskate for two. That would provide basic food for one family for a month. £50 donation, like I said earlier, which would pay for a quarantine care kit and accommodation, allowing a family to self-isolate in a purpose-built centre for a month. That would be, when you used to have visitors and they'd come around and expect you not only to entertain them, but also treat them to a takeaway. Yeah, well, just back of them and send it this way instead. And then £100 donation, it seems a lot, but basically I worked it out that it's only an eighth of the cost of an iPhone 12, whatever that might be. An iPhone 12, which you'll probably break, lose, or have to update to a 12 plus in a few months' time anyway. And that £100 would provide a complete COVID-19 care package for a family, including food supplies, accommodation, oxygen, medication. So yeah, just to give you a perspective there and hopefully make you feel like you could donate instead. Right. The next bit I've been trying to put off by talking as long as I can, but it basically, do we still have time for this, Chris? Okay. Yes. Okay.
Yes, you can't get out of it, I'm afraid.
Okay. Right. This next section is going to be myself and Prerna, who I'm going to rely on heavily to carry it through. And we're going to be doing what Chris referred to as something I can't remember now, but it wasn't very positive sounding. But you know, we're going to do our best with it. What was it, Chris?
So it's not karaoke. It's carry not okay.
Okay. Yes. Yes. It's going to be our world's first performance together. Put your microphone on, please, Prerna. You're not going to get out of it. And it's probably going to be our last. But anyway, we'll give it a damn good bash.
This is a tribute to all of the terrible karaoke in the world. Woo!
Yes. Woohoo.
Sing along at home.
Please. Loud enough to drown us out. Is this the real life or is this just fantasy? Open your eyes, look up to the skies and see.
I'm just a poor boy, I need something, but I'm keeping calm. Keep a little high, little low.
Anyway, the wind blows doesn't really matter to me, And together, Mama just killed a man and put a gun against his head. Pulled my trigger, now he's dead. Mama, life had just begun, but now I'm gone and thrown it all away. Mama, ooh, I need to make you cry. I'm not back again.
Carry on. As if nothing really matters.
I want to say great job, but like, you know, you were spot on. That's exactly what I was hoping for. Well done.
Cool. Thank you.
Thank you.
Right. Moving swiftly on. We've actually come to the point, it might be a good idea just to put the link up again one more time, or one more time at the end as well, so it'll be 2 more times. Yeah, we've come to the final act of the show today, and I saw him rehearsing earlier, and it's the first time I'd seen it, and it's brilliant. He's brilliant. Before we get started though, he would also, there's going to be an element towards the end of his piece where he does some improvised singing, improvised songs. So if you, again, you could turn to your chat facility, and what we would like is a suggestion for a topic for a song, but also a genre. So if you could come up with one of those or both of those preferably, and then that way when he comes to do the improvised section, he will have a choice. So our next performer, he's a musician, an artist, an improviser, a designer, an existentialist, but he doesn't like labels. Compromising some song covers, and like I've already mentioned, some improvised songs are based on your suggestions, so get them in, please. Please welcome Pratham Sawate.
Hi, thank you for having me, and to everybody watching, thank you for tuning in. I hope you guys go to the link and support the cause that we are performing for today. So yeah, I'll just start quickly with a fairly popular song. I hope everybody knows this. This is going to be a cover. I'll have a bass and drum track in the background. I'll play the guitar and sing with it. Hopefully it sounds bearable and enjoyable enough for you guys. And post that, we'll move to the improvised section. So please keep the suggestions coming in. So what we need is a topic, like Mark said, and a genre, or even if a vibe, you can describe the vibe of the music that you want. Like, you can be vague, it's totally fine. So again, this first song we're gonna do is a pretty popular one. I would like not to say the name just for like that slight 2 seconds of surprise. So here we go.
shine for you. Oh, all the things that you do, they were all yellow. I came along, I wrote a song for you. Oh, all the things that you do, they were all yellow. Your skin, oh yeah, your skin and bones turn into something beautiful. Do you know I love you so. You know I love you so. I swam across, I jumped across for you. Oh, all the things that you do, they were all yellow. I drew a line for you. Oh, all the things you do, they were all yellow. Your skin, oh yeah, your skin and bones turn into something beautiful. Do you know, for you I'd bleed myself dry. For you I'd bleed myself dry. Oh, it's true. Look how they shine for you. Look how they shine for you. Look how they shine. Look how they shine for you. Look how they shine for you. Look how they shine. Look at the stars. Look how they shine for you. Oh, all the things that you do.
Okay. So that was Yellow. Let's see if we have some suggestions for this song and the genre.
Sorry, it's I was so engrossed by your beautiful music, I completely forgot to paste them. I can tell you though, we do.
Alright.
The topic is public transportation,
Okay.
and the genre is bluegrass. How do you feel about bluegrass?
Sure, we can try that.
Yeah, lovely.
Okay. Okay, so how this is gonna work is I will try to also put some really basic music for this. You might technically not the most seamless stuff, but this is how the creative process works, guys. So maybe you get that sneak peek into it. Okay, so let's see. We will have some basic drums for this, maybe. Let's see how that would go. Yeah, maybe something like that. Let's see. Maybe did that work? Okay, I think I messed that up. Let's simplify it a bit. Yeah, this kind of stuff happens. I'm sorry about that. Oh, I'm heading down the highway in a bus. There's so many people sitting around me, and the story goes thus: I'm gonna be where I'm gonna be. Oh, it's long, long highway. I've gotta catch a train next, and wherever that train will take me, that's where I'm gonna be. There's a guy chewing gum, he's gonna spit it out. And when that happens, I hope it's out the window, 'cause I'm out. Public transport, the backline of a country. Gotta maintain it, gotta keep it dirt and germ free. Oh, I'm heading down the highway on a bus. Maybe someday we'll have Hyperloop. When that happens, we just might save the planet with no more emissions. Yeah, just a country singer. Gonna be where I'm gonna be. Okay. Yeah, that's how it happens when you improvise things, guys. Sorry for the absolute lack of quality, and I'm very glad it's never going to be performed again. We can do maybe one more of these. Can I have a suggestion for another topic and a genre? If that's okay.
Yes, you can. We have housework.
Okay.
And cool jazz.
Cool jazz. Okay. Okay. Once again, I don't have the most robust setup, but yeah. I think if I stop clarifying it, maybe it'll feel less weird. So I'll just shut up. Let's see what we can do. Okay. So that was slow jazz, and the topic is housework, right?
Yes.
Did I get that right? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Maybe make a waltz thing here. Let's see. Right. Yeah, that might just work. Okay. Okay, I don't think that quite worked. I'll just go back to a 4/4, my bad. This is a bit rough, I'm sorry about that. Let's see. Okay. Go do this. And let's put on some background music for this. Maybe we go with some smooth keys on this. Yeah. Okay.
It's the weekend again. All the chores from the week have piled on me, and I don't know how I feel that I gotta do this today, and there'll be more next Sunday. It's never a fun day. There's dishes in the sink and there's dusting to be done. Gotta take out my trash, and there's just gonna be more of it, man. Oh, it's the weekend, I'm cleaning my house, but the cleaning's not all. I gotta get my groceries, get the cat food, and make nice with the neighbors. I don't like it. This housework is all I have that makes this home a house. I know that makes no sense, but that's all I can say. There's pains inside my heart that no one would ever get. All they say, you're such a lazy bum. And then I'm back here every Sunday. Right, cool. That's the song.
Woo!
Cool. I think, how much time do we have?
Time for one more.
All right. So I'll just finish off with one cover that I really wanted to do. It's a Hindi song, and it's a song about friendship and love that I really like. So I'll just sing that, and you can call it a day. So just 1 second. One last guitar change for the night. Alright. So this is a song, I think, from the early 2000s. It's by an indie artist named KK, and it's called Yarrow. Obviously, like, I don't expect a lot of people watching this to have heard it, but like, you can check it out. It's a pretty nice song. And I personally really like singing it, so I'm gonna close the night with that, because like experimental improvised music is not a good note to leave an evening on. But thank you for your patience and like staying tuned. So yeah, here goes. This song is called Yarrow. Again, it's a song about like friendship and love, and it's a song by KK. I don't know the exact year when it came out, but sometime between 2000 and 2005. Okay, so here goes. यारों दोस्ती बड़ी ही हसीन है, ये ना हो तो क्या फिर बोलो ये जिंदगी है, कोई तो हो राज़दार बेगरज तेरा हो यार, कोई तो हो राज़दार। यारों मोहब्बत ही तो बंदगी है, ना हो तो क्या फिर बोलो ये
जिंदगी है कोई तो दिलबर हो यार जिसको तुझसे हो प्यार कोई तो दिलबर हो यार तेरी हर एक बुराई पे डांटे वो दोस्त गम की हो धूप तो साया बने तेरा वो दोस्त नाचे भी वो तेरी खुशी में अरे यारों दोस्ती बड़ी ही हसीन है ना हो तो क्या फिर बोलो ये जिंदगी है कोई तो हो राज़दार बेगरज तेरा हो यार कोई तो हो राज़दार तन मन करे तुझ पे फिदा महबूब जो पलकों पे जो रखे तुझे महबूब जिसकी वफा तेरे लिए हो अरे यारों मोहब्बत ही तो बंदगी है ना हो तो क्या फिर बोलो ये जिंदगी है कोई तो दिलबर हो यार जिसको तुझसे हो प्यार कोई तो दिलबर हो यार Thank you. So once again, please go to the link, donate to the fundraiser, and thank you for staying on the stream. And I hope you all had a fun evening. Back to Mark. Thank you. That's been my time.
Thank you so much, Pratham. That was amazing. And I particularly enjoyed being a fan of improvised singing and performing myself. I particularly enjoyed that element of it. Thank you. Right, we've come to the end of our show. Although we've come to the end of our show, you can still donate because you know where to go. If you put it on the screen, please, Chris, now. It belongs to you, so go there now. Yes, so and you should donate just for that little bit of improvised singing there, I think, actually. I'm going to invite all of our performers back onto screen now. So if you'd all like to stick your cameras back on, unless you're doing something embarrassing, in which case get them on quicker. Hello. Hello, everybody. So again, a big thank you to all of our performers tonight. There's Christina O'Sullivan, who I'm reliably informed is already nearly in the end of her brother's bottle of wine. So that's good. Bendy House, the weirdos, as I like to now refer to them. Iona May, who's the moth killer. And Pratham Swati, who we just listened to and enjoyed. And of course, a big thank you to Prerna and her partner, Alvaro. Where's Alvaro? Hello. Who's, for starting this campaign in the first place and being the impetus behind the whole show. So am I right in thinking this will be on catch up, Chris, for a while? So we will be on catch up. So, please come and enjoy us all again, or just, the ones that you preferred. Get your friends to watch it, or your enemies, depending on how much you enjoyed it. And please continue to donate or share the link and do whatever you can, really. I've been Mark Womersley, your host. Yeah, that's all I can think of, unless anyone else can remember. Please wave if you remember anything I've forgotten to say. No waving. Good, they're my kind of people. Right, thank you and good afternoon. Bye. La, 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 la.